Hi, today we're going to make a sweet snack from the beautiful island of Madeira, Portugal. It's quite popular on the island around Christmas time. They're called Palitos de Cerveja. Palitos could be like little sticks or I believe little toothpicks. When I was in Madeira, I saw these at one of the bakery shops in the market of Funchal. They sell everything. You'll see a wide array of fruits, flowers. Upstairs they have spices. On the back end they have all kinds of fresh fish caught that day. And you can easily make these a day or two ahead of time for a party you're having as like a little appetizer or snack. Let's start this. Okay, first we'll add 250 grams of butter to a bowl. 250 grams of butter comes out to about 2 sticks of butter and a tablespoon. So that's about 9 ounces total of butter. The butter should be soft. And then into this butter, you're going to mix in about 500 grams of flour, and that's about 3.5 cups of just all-purpose flour is fine. And I'll also put in 1 teaspoon of salt. You don't need to put any sugar in the dough because it's already going to have sugar coated on the outside. Again, this is like a sweet snack. Now this is 500 grams of flour, again about 3.5 cups. Work in that butter. I'm just breaking up the butter chunks in here. 200 milliliters of a lager. In Madeira, the beer of the island is called Curacao. Here you'd want just a light lager, nothing like a heavy stout or porter. Mix that in. So only about half the flour is in there. I'm just making sure the butter gets well incorporated into this dough before I add the rest of the flour. Okay, it looks pretty good. Now we'll just slowly add in the rest of the flour. And you could do this in a mixer, like a KitchenAid also. I'm gonna start just working the dough with my hand. There's still a little flour on the bottom of the bowl, so I'm slowly letting all that flour just get incorporated into the dough. So that's what you want. It's really not too sticky. I mean, it feels moist, but it's not sticking to my hand. If I grab a chunk, you could see it's not pulling away very easily. There, it's formed into a ball. Now I'm just going to let it rest for about 5 minutes, let the dough get fully hydrated. It's a nice step to take. You'll see the dough will be easier to work with after about 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, the dough has been resting for about 10 minutes. Put a little flour on your cutting board or on your granite countertop. And now we're just going to roll it out until it's about a 1/4 inch thick. You want to roll out the dough into a rectangle shape. Another very popular dessert, probably the most popular in Madeira Island, is boule de mel. I have that on my video playlist. If you don't have a rolling pin, I know in the past I've used like a wine bottle also works. Then to flip over a dough, instead of trying to grab it, just roll it up on the dowel. Put a little more flour down there. Flip it over and roll it back. You want them to be about 5 inches in length. Cut out some of the edge to make it a little more square. And then you want to get them about 3/4 of an inch wide, I would say. Somewhere between a 1/2 inch and 3/4 of an inch wide. Next, you just want to twist them in a corkscrew shape. Just give them a nice little twist. Now we're going to dip them in egg whites or claros, as I believe they're called in Portugal, and then dip them in granulated sugar. So I use about 3 egg whites to coat the Palitos de Cerveja. Put in 1 egg white at a time because you don't want to like give them a bath. You just want to give them a very light coating of egg white to dip it into sugar so the sugar sticks. If you put in too much egg whites at once, then after it just kind of makes more of a mess and the appearance isn't as good. So I suggest putting in 1 egg white at a time and then slide your dough through there and then dip it in the sugar, then put it on your sheet pan. Dip them in egg whites first, then dip them in your granulated sugar. You want to put it on either a greased cookie sheet or lined with parchment paper. And my oven is already preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or about 180 degrees Celsius. All right, here we go. They take about 20 minutes to cook at 350 degrees. And once you get them out of the oven, kind of with a spatula, break them loose before they really stick to the pan. Also, they tend to color up a little more on the bottom. So another trick is if you put them in for the 20 minutes and they're still don't have an even color, you could use your broiler so the heat's coming from the top. And again, you have to watch it like every minute to be peeking in there to see how it's coloring up on top. But that's it, we'll let these cool down and enjoy. So now you can make these Christmas snacks from Madeira Island. You could enjoy them any time of year. Give them a try. Go cook for someone you love.